Hello, Julie Barkus here, and I wanted to come to you with this quick video to talk to you about interview questions. Since my last video about interview questions, I've been asked a lot, what questions do you ask? What questions do you ask? And right now, in this day and age, it's not enough just to pull out a book with interview questions in it or to ask your colleagues what interview questions they're asking. What's really required is that you develop your own personalized interview questions. And I'm going to tell you during this video what to base these questions on because these are critically important. And this is what I work through with my clients is developing questions based on these two things. And your objective of the interview questions that you ask should really be to help rule somebody in or to rule them out. And the quicker you rule somebody out as one of your top candidates, the better, right? Because you waste less of your time and you're able to move quicker through finding out who that next dreamy team member is going to be for you. So if you're really interested in interview questions, I encourage you to give me a like or comment on this video, and I'm going to share with you how you develop your interview questions. And this is something I've started doing 20 years ago when people would ask me, Julie, what are the best interview questions to ask? Now, I do have my favorites. I will tell you that. But I want to tell you more so than just the questions. I want to tell you how you develop these questions. So here's what I want you to think about. When you're thinking about your interview process and the questions that you're asking, look at them. Look at the ones you're currently asking and say, does this really help me rule people in or rule them out? Does it meet that objective? And then I want you to ask yourself, here are two things. What are the dreamy characteristics? I say dreamy, but what are the characteristics that I want team members to display or exhibit every single day? What are those behaviors? And then I want you to ask and develop questions that are based on those behaviors that you want to see in the workplace. And we don't just want to ask yes or no questions, or you don't want to ask a question that really gives away the answer that you want, because that's what a lot of leaders are doing too. In this company, it's important that blah, 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 blah. So then the candidate, of course, is going to come back and give your own words back to you. And there was a time when I really excelled at the interview process and I felt I could get any job I wanted to because I interviewed so well. But you want to look at what are the dreamy characteristics? And then am I asking questions that are helping me determine if this person is those things? So perhaps it's punctual, perhaps it's flexible, perhaps it's resolving conflicts and issues directly. But let's take a really easy scenario here. Let's say that you want the person to be punctual. Instead of saying, are you punctual? And they go, yes, of course I am. Or are you on time? Yes, of course I am. You ask them, tell me about a time you were late for work and what did you do to make sure that, or what did you do, or what did you try to do to make sure this would not happen again? So you had a situation unfold. Now, how are you going to navigate the next time to make sure that it's a one-time situation and not a reoccurring event? Because if you're like many leaders that I work with, it's like, wait a second, I hired this person, they said they were punctual, and now they're late, they're late, they're late, they're late. So you can ask them if, let's say you have employees and their car, for some reason, their car stopped working. You can ask them an interview question that says, if your car is not working and you have to get to work, what would you do to make sure you got there and arrived on time and ready to go? And that's a much better interview question because it will help you to piece that person together in your mind to really see who are they and who are they being in the workplace. So that's how I would be developing those questions. And I would also be thinking about when you ask these questions, how do you derail their thinking, right? That's the objective of the interview process, not to get some good scripted questions so you get some good scripted responses, but you want to derail their thinking so that it's a tough question. It's like, whoa, I didn't even think about that question. But these questions are also going to make you stand out as an employer. But your objective throughout the whole interview process is to really understand who this person is that's sitting in front of you. Ask the question and then let there be silence. Ask the question and then let there be silence. So that's part one of asking an interview question is look at the dreamy characteristics that you want people to display and then ask a question. Now, the second approach is thinking about what you don't want. What I find in many organizations that I work with is that there are repeating patterns of behaviors that employees possess inside of a company, inside of an organization. And what you want to do is every time you think to yourself, like, oh, that employee didn't work out because of this, this, and this, and this, think to yourself, opportunity, opportunity here. What kind of interview question can I ask the next candidate to make sure they don't have the same challenge? So be thinking to yourself whenever there's an employee that either doesn't work out, you made some hiring mistakes, write down what it was about that person that didn't work out, and then look at your interview questions and say, do these questions help me weed out these people who possess these issues? If not, that's when you want to come back and structure your interview questions differently. So, on one side of the equation, you're looking at your dreamy team member. What do they possess? What do they exhibit every day? On the other hand, the second approach is to be thinking about hiring mistakes you made, or as they pop up, or as there are destructive behaviors that unfold in the workplace. What kind of interview question can you ask? So let's say you have gossip, right? A lot of organizations have gossip. Instead of asking them, well, do you gossip or what would you do to steer clear of gossipers in the workplace? And they say, oh, of course not. I don't gossip. I hate gossip. That's a whole topic for another video is why people gossip when they say that they're not going to gossip in the workplace. But what you want to do is ask a question to say you approach a group of employees and they're gossiping and you want to fit into that circle. How do you successfully navigate that situation and yourself so that you're not participating in the gossip? Much different, much more powerful question. Again, if you like this and this is valuable for you, please give me a like or a comment. And that really shows me that this video is being helpful for you. So those are my two strategies for asking better interview questions is to be thinking about number one, dreamy team members. What do they possess? And are my interview questions either weeding them in or weeding them out? Number two, what are the hiring mistakes that I've made? And we all make them. It's okay. What are the hiring mistakes that I made? But anytime a client will call me and say, Julie, we're having this behavioral issue, this and this and this and this is going on. For one of the first things I'll say is, oh, opportunity for a new interview question. And I believe that interview questions need to be personalized because you hire from a place of who you are being in this world. And that determines the kind of people you attract. Now that's deep, and I'll leave more on that till our next video. I'm Julie Bartkus, transforming workplaces for more than 20 years. I hope you found this helpful, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.